also asked not to venture out in the city.
Over 20,000 evacuated. Heavy rains lash western coast.
जो कंडला पोर्ट है उसको फिलहाल बंद कर दिया गया है। प्रवाह 15 तारीख को आना है, लेकिन उससे पहले जो तेज हवाएं हैं वो यहाँ पे शुरू हो चुकी हैं। साथ ही समुद्र में ऊंची लहरें भी उठ रही है।
India today tracks Cyclone Biparjoy. Our top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening we're going to be getting you all the details you need to know about Cyclone Biparjoy. Massive preparations that are underway in the ground. If 48 hours from now, this cyclone will be making landfall. And here on India Today, we're putting our focus on the story to tell you all about the preparations and also the advice given by experts for all those living along the west coast. We'll be telling you all about the cyclone and much more on this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Here are the headlines first. Congress targets centre over ex-Twitter CEO's comments as Twitter asked to block critical voices. The government hits back, says Twitter is in non-compliance with Indian law.
That Twitter was in violation of Indian law, laid down Indian law from 2020 to 2022. They were repeatedly reminded that they were in violation of the law. But they were not raided, they were not sent to jail, no employee of Twitter was raided, no employee of Twitter was sent to jail.
Prime Minister Modi lashes out at opposition at the Rozgar Mela, compares rate card party versus safeguard party, also launches Parivarwad attack on the opposition. Violence, clashes and showdown over Panchayat polls in Bengal. Fresh clashes erupted in Bardhaman and South 24 Parganas. BJP versus ally Shinde Sena in Maharashtra over newspaper ad showing Eknath Shinde as chosen CM in 2024. Shinde Sena denies printing ads, says Shinde's supporter published it. After IT raids, ED heat on Tamil Nadu Minister Senthil Balaji in jobs for cash scam in 2014. Properties related to Balaji raided. Chief Minister Stalin accuses BJP of misusing central agencies. And all eyes are on Modi US visit. US President Joe Biden to host Prime Minister Modi for an intimate dinner during his visit. And let's begin with breaking news that's coming in from Tamil Nadu. Amid all of the questions about a rift between the BJP and the AIADMK, Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai has now responded to all of the allegations that the AIADMK has levelled against him, including passing a resolution against him. Annamalai now has hit back at the AIADMK, all of whom have questioned him and whether he knows enough about this alliance. He said very clearly that I know what it takes to ensure that there is an alliance. He says, I know the alliance dharma. No one needs to teach me on how to treat alliance party leaders. I only said what had happened in Tamil Nadu politics. I stated facts. So Annamalai isn't going to apologize at this point to the AIADMK. He is making that much very clear. The AIADMK has passed a resolution against him. He's even responded to D. Jayakumar, who lashed out at Annamalai, saying this was an immature statement. He said, I don't want to resort to the kind of name-calling that Jayakumar, the AIADMK leader, has. Pramod Madhav is joining us with more details on this. Pramod, scathing retort from Annamalai. He's not backing off. He's not going to apologize to the AIADMK. What does this mean really for the alliance going forward?
It absolutely is, Akshita, because this is a 3-page statement that has come out from Annamalai, and this has occurred almost after 24 hours of reactions from AIADMK, starting with D. Jayakumar, who called him immature, who said that his comments are immature and he should not have spoken like this regarding Jayalalitha. But Annamalai, he only says that he has spoken about what has occurred in the history of Tamil Nadu. That's how the politics of Tamil Nadu, and he claims that if there is any mistake, he's ready to accept that was his fault and apologize. But someone has to show what mistake mistake he has done in that particular interview. And not just that, he claims that he is working as per his conscience and he's not here for any short-term benefits and he wants to be in politics for the next 30 years. Now it is up to AIDMK to decide because several leaders came out. It was complete lashing out against AIDMK. CV Shanmugam even claimed that if BJP does not want to be in the alliance, they should have quit long time back. Annamalai should have quit long time back. And why is he still stuck to AIDMK? That's what CV Shanmugam spoke today morning, similar to the tunes of D. Jayakumar. And right now it's up to EPS to decide what should be done because Annamalai has made it very clear that this is a statement and he apparently only if someone can show or prove that what he has said is wrong, he will apologize.
Will the central leadership now intervene, Pramod? Because what's at stake is the alliance between the AIADMK and the BJP. With Annamalai making it very clear he's not going to apologize and what he stated is merely facts from Tamil Nadu politics, from what's happened previously. You had Jayakumar already saying that he wants Amit Shah, he wants JP Nadda to intervene to save this alliance between the AIADMK and the BJP. Is that likely to happen now because things aren't going well?
Akshita, for the past 3 months, things have been not going well between AIDMK and BJP. In fact, at one point, EPS went ahead and said, don't ask me anything about Annamalai because I don't want to talk about a person who just tries to garner publicity by saying unnecessary statements. That's how EPS actually lashed out against Annamalai. But everything came under a control after EPS went to Delhi. There was a meeting with Home Minister and even Annamalai was present along with EPS and various other leaders. After that, there was no kind of issue within AIDMK. But Annamalai still maintained that he is not happy with Dravidian parties giving money and corruption for votes, cash for votes in particular. He even spoke to us earlier. He made it very clear that Dravidian parties are involved. He did not say just DMK, but he said Dravidian parties, which also includes AIDMK. Of course, AIDMK did not react at that point, but right now he has made a sharp comment, especially about a chief minister who got convicted for corruption, and now AIDMK has to go through a statement and perhaps EPS has to decide on it.
All right, so we'll see how this plays out, but very clearly things are going from bad to worse as far as the AIADMK BJP battle is concerned. Will the central leadership step in? To give you some context here, what triggered this fight? Annamalai reportedly in an interview had spoken about Jayalalitha being convicted in a corruption case, the DA, the disproportionate assets case. The AIADMK took offense to it, saying Annamalai has spoken in an immature manner. They demanded an apology. They passed a resolution against him. The Tamil Nadu BJP chief has refused to back off, saying very clearly, at this point, I have spoken what's happened in Tamil Nadu political history. I will stick to my conscience. I will continue this kind of politics. He says, I know all about alliance dharma. What will this mean for the AIADMK BJP ties? Well, we'll wait and watch. Thanks for the moment, Pramod, for joining us. All right, let's switch focus to our top story this evening on 6 p.m. Prime. We're getting you all the details you need to know on the extremely severe Cyclone Biparjoy. And let's get you the latest images that are coming in right now. The Met Department has sounded both orange and red alerts across several areas in Gujarat ahead of Biparjoy's landfall. This includes Devbhoomi Dwarka, that's currently witnessing high tidal waves and strong winds along coastal areas. With preparations to combat the cyclone impact in full swing, Gujarat police has now been deployed near the coast in Gujarat's Navsari to prevent people from venturing into the sea. Tragic news from Mumbai, where 5 children aged 12 to 16 were washed away at the Jakhau beach amid the high tides due to the cyclone. 1 child is rescued, 2 have drowned unfortunately, and 2 are still missing. Lifeguards have been deployed at Mumbai's Jakhau beach to ensure that the public doesn't venture into the sea as high tidal waves hit the coast due to the cyclone. Access to beaches and seafronts has been banned. These are images that we're getting to you of 50 personnel stranded on the Jakhau rig Key Singapore being operating off Dwarka coast, being rescued in operation by the Indian Coast Guard. So as we speak, massive preparations are underway. Less than 48 hours to go for the cyclone to make landfall, and it's expected to hit somewhere between Saurashtra and Kutch, which is why in low-lying areas along these coastal areas, over 20,000 people have been pulled out, moved to relief camps. They've been evacuated from their homes. The NDRF has already been deployed there. Massive preparations that are underway as the central government is very closely working with the state governments right now.
Cyclone Biparjoy has weakened from extremely severe to very severe cyclonic storm. But it is still capable of inflicting damage when it makes landfall in Kachchh on Thursday. Strong winds are lashing the coastal districts of Gujarat and the sea is turbulent. The centre and the state government are taking no chances. Over 20,000 people have been evacuated.
कुल मिला के समंदर के तट पे 5 किलोमीटर में अंदर आते हुए 38 गांव और 10 किलोमीटर के अंदर आते हुए 44 गांवों को खास तौर पे हमने उसके जो नीचे के क्षेत्र में रहने वाले जो लोग हैं ऐसे 4400 से ज़्यादा परिवारों को शिफ्ट करने की कामगिरी समाप्त की गई है.
The cyclone has thrown the lives of fishermen out of gear.
यहाँ पे जो हवामान का बहुत काफ़ी समय से सुनाई दे रहा है कि हवामान आने वाला है, इसलिए सब फिशरमैन सबकी बोटें बंद कर दिए और सब जगह पे सेव कर दिए.
The Indian Coast Guard evacuated 50 personnel from an oil rig located 40 km off Dwarka coast in an overnight operation amid inclement weather conditions. As a precautionary measure, operations at the Kandla post are shut and the crew evacuated. With no movement of containers, hundreds of trucks are stranded at Gandhi Dham. 17 teams from the NDRF and 12 SDRF are deployed to disaster-prone areas. Police personnel are stationed at the seafront to ensure civilians don't venture into the sea. The army is on standby in Bhuj with relief and rescue material ready. Union Home Minister Amit Shah held a high-level meet to review preparedness in 6 coastal districts.
सामान्य चेतावनी प्रोटोकॉल के लिए जितनी भी चीजें तय की गई थी ये सभी पूर्ण है. तटीय सायरन के साथ पीओसी प्रगति पर है, बाकी सारे काम पूर्ण किए गए हैं.
Strong winds also lashed Mumbai. Lifeguards are deployed at all beaches. Unfortunately, 5 children aged 12 to 16 were washed away as they ignored warnings and snuck out to Juhu Beach on Monday night. When Cyclone Biparjoy makes landfall, winds up to 195 km per hour are expected to hit the coast. Met Department has warned cyclone might cause extensive damage. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you now a live tracker of Cyclone Biparjoy. 48 hours, it will make landfall. Here's the movement of the storm that we're tracking right now. You can see here that the eye of the storm is far away right now from the coast. It's going to take another 48 hours for this to really move into the land, into hitting the top of Gujarat, North Gujarat, as well as into Pakistan. Now, what the Met Department has said is that the movement of the cyclone itself has considerably slowed down. So they're saying that June 15th is when it will make landfall. And let me show that to you as well, what the path looks like right now in the coming hours, how it's going to be moving forward. This right here is the path of the cyclone that I'm showing you. It's going to be moving, slightly curving up there and hitting right here at this part of Gujarat. Saurashtra Kutch region is going to feel the maximum impact of the cyclone, and you can see as it moves closer and closer towards land, the eye of the storm starts weakening. But it's when this particular part of the system hits right there that you'll see the maximum brunt, which is expected on Thursday at 11 a.m. And then as it keeps moving forward, it'll keep weakening, the system will weaken, and then you can expect that the rainfall reduces. But right up here, when it hits on 15th, the impact of the storm will be felt at the maximum, with wind speeds reaching 190 kilometers per hour. Let me open this up, bring in our reporters on the ground who've been getting us every update that's coming in on the impact of the cyclone so far. Brijesh Doshi is joining us live from Dwarka in Gujarat. We have Ashutosh joining us live from Gujarat as well. And we have Dev Kotak, who's joining us from the Gateway of India in Mumbai, because Mumbai too is feeling right now the impact of this cyclone. Brijesh, if I can come across to you first, you've been reporting for the last 2 days for us on the impact of the cyclone. 2 days to go for landfall, but I hear already there's been heavy rains, wind speeds have been picking up.
Yeah, actually, the rainfall has started, and from the last night here. Right now, I'm at the Jakhau Port, which is extremely right to the Dwarka, and here is the preparation going on by the Indian Coast Guard. Minister of State Home Harsh Sanghvi is visiting the Coast Guard station and Coast Guard jetty. So they are reviewing the preparations done by the Indian Coast Guard. So if there will be any kind of situation occur where cyclone may hit or cyclone may pass through Okha or Dwarka, so Indian Coast Guard is ready for any kind of rescue operation. Every possible steps has been taken by the government of Gujarat and Union government. So by the video conference, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has already advised all the authorities to take the necessary steps to avoid any kind of casualties. The motto is that there will be very less or minimize casualties done because of this cyclone. Next 24 to 40 hours are the crucial for the Gujarat coastal areas. Dwarka the cyclone may pass through Dwarka, and it will stay away from the Dwarka around 100 to 150 kilometers. It will reach to on 15th June to Kachchh and Kachchh Jakhau Port. So right now this is the Jakhau Port. Heavy wind is going on, but the sea is very calm and silent right now. But the situation may increase. Or,
it's the calm before the storm in the seas. It's going to get very choppy, which is why there have been multiple advisories and warnings saying the public must not venture anywhere close to beaches right now. Ashutosh is also joining us live right now from Mandavi in Gujarat. Ashutosh, good evening. Take us through what you see around you. It's great to see that, it's nearly 72 hours before the cyclone itself. You had all the authorities out there on the ground ensuring all precautionary steps are taken in preparation for the cyclone.
The state, Akshita, was quite prepared, and having known that just 3 years ago there was a similar cyclonic situation in the western part, particularly in the area of Junagadh, Jamnagar and Porbandar, Dwarka, which was worse affected even then. But this time the extensive, because as it is expected, the wind speed could be even up to 135 km per hour. So that potentially will bring really, tragic images. So what I see here, indeed not really very much rough sea, but clearly this is what you see in the Mandavi, the creeks and the opening of that, you see the ocean part. So all these fishermen have been advised to just go around. It's been 3 days, there is no activities that's taking place as far as fishermen communities are concerned. From the administration, including the NDRF, SDRF, every preparation is being done. Probably tomorrow afternoon there will be electricity supply disrupted, and that is too, of course, when there are high wind speed, that will potentially cause further disruption. So all these preventive measures taking place. Those people evacuated from the low-lying areas have been taken to the safer places. But as the eye of the storm getting closer, it is likely to bring literally havoc. Having known that this Jakhau region and this Mandavi, this closer part of Mundra, Jakhau, Mandavi, which becomes close, very close in proximity of the eye of that storm. So this is where, it is expected to create more havoc. However, indeed, all these administrative preparations being done. We have already shown the report that how the center is taking, minute by minute updates. State is engaged in all these machinery, be the NDRF or the state machineries. So all since the precautionary measure being taken and it is learned from the previous experiences, one could really anticipate and one pray that there will probably lesser damage to the public properties. Of course, since the people have already been evacuated, but even at the moment we speak in the low-lying areas, the announcements are from the civic agencies being made, appealing people to go to the safer places, and those arrangements have made. So yes, when we will see the pre-impact of the cyclone that is likely to begin from tomorrow. Since this morning there have been torrential rainfalls. The wind speed is quite above the normal at the moment.
Yeah. We can see that in your frame as well. Just let's take this across also to Dev Kotak, who's joining us live from Mumbai, because Dev, there's also an alert issued for the state of Maharashtra, particularly for the city of Mumbai. Has there been any impact of the cyclone felt so far, and how bad is it going to get when the cyclone really makes landfall in Mumbai?
Well, yes, as far as Mumbai is concerned, first let me tell you that the cyclone is not going to make a massive impact now, because it has further advanced into the Arabian Sea and is on its way to Gujarat and further up towards Pakistan post that. But however, a strong gusts of wind were felt, and yesterday certain shanties, their rooftops were also blown apart. So which is why IMD also said that have a sturdy house material that you can use in its building or construction that doesn't get easily blown away or swept away. In fact, as speaking of the impact, despite the government advisory for young boys, rather teenagers, drowned at the Juhu beach when they were out on a picnic. In fact, their dead bodies were retrieved by around afternoon today. So you can really gauge the intensity of the impact. These boys, they were in fact even warned by the lifeguard to not venture in, and they ignored all the warnings. Despite that, they went. The 5 of them got pulled away in just one wave itself, being dragged for almost about half a kilometer into the sea. However, one was saved just in time. A fisherman jumped in. So you can really imagine and understand the intensity.
And that's why it's important. That's why it's important to really follow the advisories and the alerts issued by authorities, warning everyone to stay away from beaches right now amid the high waves, the high tides that have been reported. Our prayers, of course, and hopes that there will be the rescue of those 2 others, but looks at this point very, very faint. But we will track the latest on that. Thanks, Dave. Thanks to Ashutosh and Brijesh for joining us as well. Stay safe out there. Let's tell you about the worst affected parts right now, the parts that will face the brunt of the cyclone. You're going to be seeing Saurashtra, which has been issued an orange alert by the Met Department. This is an orange alert for heavy rains, and this is for the next 48 hours, including the moment when the cyclone makes landfall. Besides that, other parts, North Gujarat, which is where the maximum impact will be felt, in the Kachchh region also, an orange alert has been issued by the Met Department. Which other part is on alert right now? Well, according to the Met Department, the Rajasthan district also, which is close to the Saurashtra region, there too, there will be an impact of the cyclone. So it's in these areas really that you have the NDRF also being deployed, being put on standby. Besides that, the other parts of Gujarat that are also on alert are some interior pockets where there could be heavy rains, but it's largely along the coastal belt of Gujarat that you see right now a high alert for cyclone, and orange alert that's been issued by the Met Department. Morbi also is another district where there's an alert issued by the Met Department. Let's quickly, in fact, run you through all the other districts as well. Junagadh, close to Saurashtra region, where the Met Department has predicted there will be heavy rains. Devbhoomi in Dwarka, this is where the maximum impact will be felt. Porbandar as well. So you can see that it is the districts that are lined up along the coast that you've got the biggest alert being issued, the highest level of alert being issued by the Met Department. And let's get you a report that's been filed by my colleague Gopi Manyar from the exact spot in coastal Gujarat where you will be seeing the cyclone making landfall, the exact spot where the Met Department says the maximum brunt of the cyclone will be felt.
जो बिपोरजॉय साइक्लोन है वो यहाँ पे 15 तारीख की दोपहर में टकराने वाला है। जिस तरीके से मौसम विभाग ने बताया है, यहाँ पे करीब 150 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार के साथ ये साइक्लोन जो है वो इसी पोर्ट से टकराता हुआ आगे जाएगा, और इसकी जो रफ्तार है ये काफ़ी तेज़ रहेगी। जो चौड़ाई है, ये चौड़ाई माना जा रहा है कि मांडवी से लेकर जो पाकिस्तान का कराची है, क्योंकि ये सीमावर्ती इलाका है, और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं जो समुंदर है ये जखाऊ पोर्ट का समुद्री खाड़ी का इलाका है, जहां से अक्सर मछुआरे अपनी बोट को लेकर जाते हैं। लेकिन अब जो नाव है उसे यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं जो पोर्ट की जेटी बनी हुई है वहाँ पे लगा दिया गया है। करीब 522 से ज़्यादा इस तरीके की बोट है जो सिर्फ यहाँ जखाऊ की ये बोट का इलाका है। यहाँ पे रहने वाले जो फिशरमैन कॉलोनी है उसे भी पूरी तरीके से खाली करवा दिया गया है। करीब 1500 से ज़्यादा जो लोग इस जेटी और इसके आसपास के इलाके में रहते हैं उसे खाली करवा दिया गया है। साथ ही ये खाड़ी अगर आप देखें तो खाड़ी भी पूरी तरीके से उफान पर, तेज़ हवाएं यहाँ पे चल रही है। हालांकि साइक्लोन जो है वो अभी 320 किलोमीटर के डिस्टेंस पर है यहाँ से, लेकिन जिस तरीके से यहाँ पे समुद्र के उफान पर है और साथ ही हवाएं चल रही है, उसी से अंदाज़ा लगाया जा सकता है कि अगर साइक्लोन नज़दीक आया और यहाँ पे लैंडफॉल होता है तो कितना ज़्यादा नुकसान होता है। मछुआरों ने भी आशंका जताई है कि अगर साइक्लोन यहाँ पे लैंडफॉल होता है तो उनकी जो बोट्स है, उनकी जो नाव है, उसको लाखों रुपए का नुकसान होगा।
You can see that in some pockets of Gujarat, the impact of the cyclone is already being felt with heavy rains and wind speeds picking up. What exactly is the cyclone's path right now? Joining me on this broadcast is Dr. Mrityunjay Mohapatra, who is the Director General of the Indian Met Department. And the Met Department has been actively putting out one alert after another, one advisory after another of what's expected. Dr. Mohapatra, thank you for speaking to us here on India Today. Can we just begin, sir, by getting details of really what the forecast is going ahead and what the cyclone's path looks like in the coming days?
The very severe cyclone storm Biparjoy is expected to move towards Saurashtra, Kachchh and adjoining Pakistan coast and hit the coast between Mandvi of Gujarat and Karachi of Pakistan around evening of 15th June as a very severe cyclone storm. The wind speed at the time of landfall is expected to be 125 to 135 km per hour, gusting to 150 km per hour. This wind speed can be categorized as a very severe cyclone storm, and it has got the potential to cause large-scale damages. Especially with this wind speed, there could be uprooting of big trees, breaking of tree branches, uprooting or bending of electric poles and telephone poles. There could be large-scale damage to slums, the mud houses, the tin houses, asbestos houses, and some damage could be possible to the old pakka houses. It can have the damage to the standing crops, the salt pans, and many industries and offshore activities along Gujarat coast. In addition to this wind, the cyclone can cause heavy to extremely heavy rainfall activity during the next 3 days over the coastal districts, especially Kachchh, Devbhumi Dwarka, Porbandar, Jamnagar, Rajkot, Morbi. These are the areas where you can expect the maximum wind and also the maximum rainfall.
Patra, you've tracked many such systems, many such cyclones, many such depressions, and the impact they have. When you compare those with this particular one, how intense is this storm, sir, and what is the impact really going to look like?
Yes, over the years, if you just look at, because of the improvement in socio-economic conditions, the more properties are at stake in the coastal areas. And this particular coast, if you just look at, we have got a lot of onshore and offshore activities, industries. We have got many ports, we have got many airports, and also we have got many offshore installations and oil exploring agencies, etc. So for all these, it can cause the loss of property. Therefore, to minimize the loss of property, we are warning and advising all these agencies regularly.
Dr. Mohapatra, how important in the light of what's happening or what's expected are pre-cyclone preparations? How crucial is that in really ensuring that the damages are brought to a minimum?
Yeah, over the period of time, the capacity of the India Meteorological Department to provide the forecast has improved, and we are providing at least 5 days ahead the warning to the concerned authorities. In this case also, we are continuously monitoring from 6th, and from 10th onwards, we are telling that it will move towards Saurashtra, Kutch and adjoining Pakistan coast. So therefore, accordingly, the state agencies and internal agencies are also making all efforts to minimize the loss of lives and properties. There has been number of review meetings by the highest authorities so that no action is left out to minimize the losses.
And And finally, Dr. Mohapatra, I know you're extremely busy tracking this system and giving out constant alerts on what to expect. But what would your advice be to all those residents who are living in Gujarat, in Maharashtra? How bad is the cyclone going to be? What's the impact going to look like? Your advice, sir, to them?
Yeah, I have very simple advice for the general public that please don't panic. Don't believe in rumors. Please accept the official information given by the state authorities and the official warning and advice given by India Meteorological Department. India Meteorological Department has come up a long way to provide more and better forecast with respect to especially the tropical cyclones. You can see it, especially for the Gujarat state, if you consider how accurately it was predicted cyclone Taute in 2021, and we could minimize loss of lives. Similarly, here also, the actions are being taken, and believe in actions and cooperate to take the actions by the state authorities and central authorities. So with the combined effort by the early warning agencies, the state agencies, central agencies, press and electronic media, and the common public, we can meet such type of hazards and minimize the losses.
All right. Dr. Mohapatra, I know you're extremely busy, but thank you for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. The Met Department, of course, has their work cut out for them right now as they continue to give us live updates on the movement of the storm. But from what the Met Department has told us here on India Today, they've confirmed that the cyclone will be hitting on 15th June. And that's when the maximum impact of Biparjoy will be felt. I want to bring in for one final time Ashutosh Mishra, who's joining us live right now from Mandavi in Gujarat. Ashutosh, what are the kind of preparations that you're seeing on the ground? The central government also has been actively involved with the state government in ensuring that evacuations are taken care of. NDRF personnel, we understand, have also been deployed in many parts.
Well, Akshita, looking at the magnitude, particularly when it comes to the wind speed, which is likely to go up to 135 kilometers, and that will literally create an havoc. So then you probably would require more quick response teams immediately within all these cities which will be worst affected, including restoring the road connectivity, restoring the street lights, the wire cable that will be snapped by the wind pressure. Subsequently, the Kachchh houses where these fishermen community living in the villages, there could be more disruption. In that case, what will be immediate need is to ensure smooth supply of ration, medicines and any such facilities that would be probably needed. So all that is what center is taking stock of it. Mansukh Mandavia today visited Bhuj. He met the army officials there who are kept in standby with the essential relief materials. Here in Mandavi, what I have seen, these be the volunteers, the community leaders, the local level civic volunteers, everyone working in tandem, and the only thing that is ensuring is that those people falling in the low-lying areas could be potentially worst affected have already been evacuated. If we talk about in this particular tehsil, around 18 to 19 villages which have been evacuated, and people have willingly, of course, there had certain apprehension that all, with their family, with their elders in the family, kids in the family. So all these arrangements, including the medical, that will be made. What is more matter of concern is that probably by afternoon tomorrow, when there will be higher wind speed, that will disrupt the electricity.
Okay.
And that is gonna be really challenging for the administration. But at the moment, the priority is ensure,
Yes.
no life is lost, there is no casualty.
And let's hope that all of that preparation pays off. And as Ashutosh said, there's no loss of life or property. That's reported. Thanks very much, Ashutosh, for getting us that ground report. Next 48 hours is going to be crucial, and we're going to track every update here on India Today. On the other side of a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime, we're going to be focusing on news from Tamil Nadu, where ED raids were conducted against Minister Senthil Balaji. It's triggered a political storm, with M.K. Stalin now condemning this, calling the raids politically motivated.
A bold experiment in women's empowerment. A self-help group led by the Panchayat head of Dawa village in Bihar's Bhojpur district, has set up a plant to manufacture sanitary napkins. They are not only providing sanitary pads at a low cost to women in rural areas, but also creating employment opportunities for women.
ये जो योजना है ये हम लोगों ने बेसिकली उस वक्त शुरू किया जब कोरोना का दौर चल रहा था, तो ये चीज़ समझा गया कि बाहर जो हमारे यहाँ से महिलाएं जा रही हैं उन लोगों को यहाँ रोका जाए और कुछ ना कुछ एक सोर्स ऑफ अर्निंग बनाई जाए। और हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा औरतों को सैनिटरी जो शब्द है उससे परिचित करवाएं और मेंस्ट्रुएशन साइकिल में जो हम सैनिटरी का यूज़ करते हैं उसकी उनको आदत डलवाएं।
The women go door to door selling sanitary napkins. They spread awareness among villagers about menstrual hygiene.
जो बच्ची किशोरियां हैं वो लेना नहीं जानती थी पहले, जिसे उनके माँ बाप यूज नहीं कराते थे उसको, क्योंकि महिलाओं को जानकारी नहीं था। तो इसलिए बच्ची बोलती है तो क्या है, जो आज के डेट में किशोरी बच्ची स्कूल पढ़ रही हैं, इसी की वजह से बाल किशोरी को पता चलता है कि ये पीरियड आने पर सबसे अच्छा महत्वपूर्ण सैनिटरी पैड है।
The unit in Dawa makes 4,000 to 5,000 sanitary pads a day. Their product, branded as Sangini, is available in markets in villages and towns in the district. Bureau Report, India Today.
Quality today. In Delhi, 139. In Mumbai, 61. In Kolkata, 88. In Bangalore, 54. In Chennai, 72. In Hyderabad, 64.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
After 10 hours, the ED raids on DMK Minister Senthil Balaji has come to an end. Its trigger, as expected, an all-out political fight in Tamil Nadu. MK Stalin has now come out to publicly defend his minister, calling these raids politically motivated and accusing the BJP of misusing central agencies. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister taking a stand there to back Senthil Balaji, even as the DMK has cried foul over these raids. Remember that after the IT department, now it's the Enforcement Directorate that's raiding Senthil Balaji right now. We will, of course, track the latest to get you details of what has led to these raids, what's the evidence that they've got against Senthil Balaji. But let's take a look at the reactions first.
No, they have come with an ulterior motive. For the past 2-3 days, the political scene of Tamil Nadu is between ADMK and BJP. There is some talk going on. Each of them are giving heated statements.
It's a diversion.
Yeah,
it's a diversion.
Just to divert that issue, because people started asking that there is rift in the alliance of BJP between the ADMK and BJP. Just to divert that attention. Today, evening paper, only this one.
DMK ministers are being raided time and again, and today also there is an ED raid at Senthil Balaji's residence. What do you like, as DMK leader, what do you like to say about this?
No, the concerned minister will face it. What is there to say about it?
Do you think this ED and
this is not new for DMK, and Mr. Senthil Balaji, I think he's already met the press, and he's ready to answer whatever has been asked.
Your father has said this is nothing but targeting DMK. Is that so?
Yeah, it looks like that. But we are not afraid of anybody, especially the ED or income tax. We are not afraid of anybody. Yeah, we'll face it, whatever it is.
So your father's also reacted about Amit Shah claiming that the next Prime Minister could be from Tamil Nadu. So what is your reaction to it?
My wishes to Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy.
Why?
He's also a Prime Minister candidate, no?
Anybody from DMK, sir?
No, that our leader will decide.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Pramod in conversation with Udaynidhi Stalin, who stuck to the DMK line that all of this is nothing but a political witch hunt. Shilpa Nair is joining us live with more details on this. The raids went on for 10 hours, Shilpa, in a money laundering investigation against Power Minister Senthil Balaji. But the DMK making it very clear that as of now, they 100% stand by their minister.
Well, absolutely right, Akshita. In fact, the raids got over only at the Secretariat, where the official chambers of DMK Minister Senthil Balaji was being raided or searched by the ED officials. It is still ongoing here at his residence in Chennai. This is, where I stand is the official residence of Senthil Balaji in Chennai. And even in Karur, the raids are still going on. This is the information that we're still getting from officials. But nevertheless, the trouble, of course, is mounting for DMK Minister Senthil Balaji. Remember, just a few days back, it was the income tax which raided the minister, and now of course it is the Enforcement Directorate, and this of course is in connection with a cash for jobs scam that took place in 2014 when Senthil Balaji was a minister in the AIDMK government. This happened from 2011 to 2015. That was a period when Senthil Balaji was the transport minister. But nevertheless, reacting to these raids, DMK chief and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin has hit out at the BJP, saying that these raids are politically motivated and the BJP is misusing central agencies. In fact, what he said is that this intimidation tactics of the BJP by using backdoor methods to intimidate political rivals will not work, will not yield them the desired results. And what he has taken strong objection to, Akshita, is the fact that raids were carried out at the state secretariat. Now, MK Stalin says this is an assault on cooperative federalism. This is an assault on on federal values. That is what Chief Minister MK Stalin has said. And in fact, the last time this happened was in 2016, shortly after Jayalalitha's death, when the then Chief Secretary Ram Mohan Rao was raided by the income tax. And Stalin says even at that point in time, I had voiced similar opinions and nothing has changed. It doesn't matter who is getting raided, but what matters is where it's happening. Going on to suggest that it was completely unacceptable that the BJP and its and the central agencies chose to carry out raids at the state secretariat.
So they've opposed the raids that took place at the state secretariat, questioning the BJP on this. Thanks for the moment, Shilpa, for joining us with all of those details. Let's move on to all that's expected in the Prime Minister's visit to America next week. He's going to be touching down on 21st June and he's going to be welcomed by the Bidens with an intimate dinner. That's the wording that's been used, an intimate dinner for Prime Minister Modi with the Biden family. That will be followed by a state dinner as well, which will happen the next day on June 22nd. So that'll be the official dinner that will happen at the White House. But this particular dinner meeting and this huddle that will happen on June 21st essentially gives you a sense of how close the relationship currently is between India and the United States and tells you what really to expect in that agenda-packed meeting, visit of the Prime Minister really to America. We've been seeing a number of reactions coming in. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called the relationship with India a unique connection, hailing the importance of partnership between the two countries and asserting that economic ties are at the heart of this relationship. Now, you've had, in fact, several moments like the one you're seeing there on your screens of Prime Minister Modi and Biden's bonhomie on full display. But what will happen in that meeting next week is going to be extremely interesting because first you'll have that intimate private dinner the day that Prime Minister Modi touches down in America, in Washington, D.C., at the Biden's residence, and then at the White House will be the official state dinner the very next day.
We are here almost literally on the eve of what we believe will be a historic state visit by Prime Minister Modi, one that will further solidify what President Biden has called the defining relationship of the 21st century. We see this defining relationship as a unique connection between the world's oldest and largest democracies, with a special obligation now to demonstrate that our governments can deliver for and empower all of our citizens. The reason this evening is so important is our conviction that at the heart of the strategic relationship between our countries are economic ties. And under the leadership of President Biden and Prime Minister Modi and private sector leaders in this room tonight and beyond, it is growing stronger by the day. We know that India and the United States are big, complicated countries. We certainly have work to do to advance transparency, to promote market access, to strengthen our democracies, to unleash the full potential of our people. But the trajectory of this partnership is unmistakable, and it is filled with promise.
The very first time we are doing a Hindu-American summit for political engagement. You know, our community has been involved in so many things, cultural, social, economic, religious, spiritual, all kind of programs, but in politics, we've been way, way behind. We are excited that our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be here, and his coming and what he's been able to do, put India on the world map, and coming the state visit, which President Biden is putting together, it gives us a lot more encouragement that what at the world stage he's been able to do.
So the entire itinerary for the Prime Minister in America is still being firmed up. What are the details we have so far? Let's break it down for you. So the Prime Minister leaves from India on June 20th. He's going to be reaching on June 21st. And when he touches down there, the Biden family will host this personal, intimate dinner for him. And then on June 22nd, you'll have the official welcome being accorded to the Prime Minister, which will happen in the White House lawns. We understand that there'll be a grand welcome ceremony that's planned, which of course the US President, the Porters, will also be a part of. And it's on the same day, on June 22nd, after the grand welcome ceremony, that you're going to be seeing the state dinner also being hosted by Biden at the White House for Prime Minister Modi. In that, there'll be several dignitaries also who've been invited. On June 22nd, Prime Minister Modi will also address the US Joint Congress. Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, is joining us live with more details on this. Geeta, power-packed trip clearly, but I think the focus for everyone is going to be on the Modi-Biden bonhomie, considering all the details that are coming out of an intimate dinner that's being planned on the first day.
Well, Akshita, the plan was to make it different, to make it special. It's a state visit, how to make it different. And that's why it's not just the state banquet, but also the private dinner that President Biden and the First Lady will be hosting. But beyond that, there are a lot of deliverables. The GE 414 jet engine deal is a deliverable. There are a lot of agreements that are going to be signed and forward movement in terms of
All right, Geeta, thanks very much for joining us with all of those details. That's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks for tuning in. Coming up on the other side, Preeti Chaudhary runs you through all the updates coming in on Cyclone Biparjoy.
Simba, the king of jungle, or should we say the prince, now in the care of Savitri at the Bannerghatta National Park. Savitri Amma, as she is popularly known, is mother to orphaned cubs that are brought up here from all parts of Karnataka. Lion, leopard, tiger. She has been looking after them for the last 22 years. It's a bond she cherishes. She has sleepless nights when a cub falls sick.
ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂತವೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸಪ್ಪಗೆ ಮಲಗಿರ್ತವೆ ಹಾಲು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಪ್ಪಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದಾಯ್ತದೆ ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಾರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮತ್ತೇನಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ 2 ದಿವಸ ಊಟ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಹಾಲು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಡ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಡ್ರಿಪ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಮೇಲೆ 3 ದಿವಸ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಸರೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ನಾವು ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಥರ ಹಾಲು ಉಡ್ಬಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಾಲು ಕುಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ.
Savitri Amma, who communicates effortlessly with the cubs, is a woman of few words. Her world is all about her wild friends. Currently, 9 leopard cubs and 1 lion cub are under her watch.
ಇದು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಮಗು ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾಲೇನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಅವಾಗ ಕುಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು 3 ತಿಂಗಳಾದಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ 3 ಟೈಮ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚಿಕನ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರೂಢಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಲು ಚಿಕನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
The veterinary doctors at the facility say tending to cubs is no easy task.
Only thing, they come early 1 month, 15 days, 1 month cubs they come also. Different area. Early very difficult to handle also. After 3 months, 4 months, they will recognize also. They will obey, some obey also. Wild animal, no? Anything they will mind change also. You want to take whatever the precautions you should take also. And all touching also prohibited, only thing.
When the cubs grow up, they will be released in safari zone or kept in the zoo. Some of the cubs will remember her for a long time, like this one. With Anagha Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today.
The OTT